Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. You're listening to the RX Daily Dose. Today's episode is being recorded for Monday, September 21st, and I'm your host, Ian Parnagoni. We update this podcast for healthcare providers, medical professionals, and anyone who has an interest in drug updates. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media, including iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. All links can be found in the show notes below. Just a few updates to discuss today. We're going to talk about the approval of Gavreto, a new gene-specific treatment for non-small cell lung cancer, and approval of Qdolo, a new oral solution for pain management. We'll also be discussing approval of new dosing guidelines for Trulicity, which will also prompt new strengths available on the market. As always, feel free to skip around. I'm going to include times in the show notes so you can get the drugs that interest you. First up today, the FDA approved Trulicity, which goes by brand name Gavreto, for the treatment of adult patients with metastatic rearranged during transfection known as RET, fusion-positive non-small cell lung cancer. Lung cancer is the second most common type of cancer in the U.S. Non-small cell lung cancer accounts for the majority of those diagnoses each year. Over the past decade, there have been several advancements in identifying various gene alterations in non-small cell lung cancer and targeting for specific treatment, including EGFR, ALK, and ROS1, yet the majority of non-small cell lung cancer patients do not have any mutations that can be treated with a specific therapy. RET fusion-positive non-small cell lung cancer is a more recent addition to a widening range of oncogene-targeted therapies and is only found in 1 to 2% of all non-small cell lung cancer cases. A major finding with RET fusion-positive non-small cell lung cancer is that it commonly spreads to the brain in up to 90% of cases. Gavreto is a once-daily oral RET-targeted therapy developed by Blueprint Medicines. It is designed to selectively and potently inhibit RET alterations that drive many cancer types, including approximately 1 to 2% of patients with non-small cell lung cancer. Currently, RET is one of 7 non-small cell lung cancer biomarkers that can be targeted with a FDA-approved therapy. In May this year, Eli Lilly received approval for Retevmo. Blueprint Medicines is hoping to capture a major portion of the RET inhibitor space with Gavreto. The FDA cleared Gavreto based on Blueprint's ARROW study, in which the RET inhibitor significantly shrank tumors in 61% of non-small cell lung cancer patients who had previously received chemotherapy and provoked a response in 73% of untreated patients, according to data presented at this year's American Society for Clinical Oncology virtual event. In the drug's approved label, the updated response rates decreased to 57% and 70% respectively. Regulators based their May approval for Lilly's Retevmo, meanwhile, on results from a Libretto trial, which showed a 64% response rate in patients with prior platinum treatment and 85% response rate for those in the newly diagnosed group. Gavreto does have some advantages over its Lilly rival. The Blueprint drug eradicated signs of tumor in 5% of previously treated patients and in 12% of new cases. By contrast, Retevmo triggered a lower 1.9% complete response rate in platinum-treated patients and a 0% rate in the untreated group. Under Blueprint Medicines' collaboration with Roche, Blueprint and Roche's subsidiary Genentech will co-commercialize Gavreto in the U.S. They plan to make the drug available in the U.S. later this month. Gavreto was granted accelerated approval by the FDA, and continued approval for this indication may be contingent on verification and description of clinical benefit in a confirmatory trial. The FDA also this week approved a new tramadol formulation, which goes by brand name Qdolo, for the management of severe pain in adults. Qdolo is an oral solution, which will allow flexible dosing and will be available in 5 mg per ml dosing. The labeling does warn against exceeding doses of 400 mg per day. The approval was granted to Athena Biosciences and is indicated specifically for patients who have not tolerated or are not expected to tolerate alternative treatment options. The opioid agonist is also limited to those for whom alternative treatments have not provided adequate pain relief. The indication comes with a caution for patients to use a calibrated oral syringe or other dosing device with metric measurement, so as to ensure proper dosing amounts provided by a prescriber. The drug should not be used in individuals with acute or severe bronchial asthma while unmonitored, those with known or susceptible gastrointestinal obstruction, hypersensitivity to tramadol, or concurrent use of monoamine oxidase inhibitors or use within the past 14 days. The most common side effects that were reported in patients were dizziness, vertigo, nausea, constipation, headache, vomiting, and pruritus. Currently, about 19.6 million adults are experiencing high-impact chronic pain that interferes with their daily life or work. And finally this week, the FDA also approved 2 additional doses of Eli Lilly's Trulicity. The approval expands the label of once-weekly Trulicity to include 3 mg and 4.5 mg doses based on data from the Award 11 trial. The Phase 3 trial showed the additional doses led to further benefits in A1C and body weight reduction when compared to Trulicity 1.5 mg in people with type 2 diabetes. The trial evaluated the safety and efficacy of additional doses of 3 mg and 4.5 mg Trulicity compared to Trulicity 1.5 mg, using 2 different statistical approaches. The study analyzed participants who remained on treatment throughout the trial and showed both doses led to significant reductions in A1C and weight. For instance, the 1.5 mg dosing reduced A1C by 1.5% and weight loss of 6.8 pounds, while the 4.5 mg dosing reduced A1C by 1.9% and weight loss of 10.4 pounds. The additional doses of Trulicity should be available in U.S. pharmacies later this month. And that's all I have for right now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll include all links in the show notes below, so please go back and check those out too. Please connect with me on any of your social media platforms and give me feedback on what you heard today. I'd love to know what you thought about the episode. And as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.